New music from Big Himmy. God, family, music. Make a pain song.
Fuck it out, make a pain song. They want my soul on these beats, but I'm dealing with real trauma, dog. I try to keep buried beneath, but fuck it out, make a pain song. Just please don't step on my heart. Oh, when I finish writing this pain song, I'll be healed from these scars. Thumbs shaking like a bitch as I try to type. Thinking about a long and lonely night. Back here, one room, no food or lights. Mama on lock, daddy out of sight. Didn't know what's going on, just knew something wasn't right. How nigga leave a kid for some pussy for nice? They want me to rap about the pain, man. I couldn't if I tried. Just listening to the beat brings tears to my eyes. I never learned shit from my pop, but the whoop on a nigga and fuck on a bitch. Wonder why nigga always rap about sex. It ain't my fault, but I been in the mix. Baby sitting hoe had me fighting my brother when one of her won. She played what I did. Nigga used to think that was loud, but the truth that was sick. Thank God for Mooney, friend and Robert when my papa died. That shit had me pissed. My nigga was living it up. Got married and died in months. Shit ain't make sense. Doctor said congestive heart failure. Told me never to fall in love with a bitch. He told me stay out on streets. Stop being man. That shit's more than like the dropping dick. But I ain't believe him. That lust a demon. And it's been following me since a kid. I got trust issues, abandonment issues. In the game called life, I'm just playing my part. Married my first BM, told her this dick was hers, but you can't have my heart. First mistake I made was saying I love her when I ain't even know where to start. But I love my babies, so I don't talk down on their mamas, even when they try to keep us apart. Shit trifling, no I don't care about shit, but don't kill my heart. Just trying to do what I ain't having, what I missed. I thank God for a fresh start. He held me down, told me fix my crown while he loose the chains. Oh, they feel me now, tryna heal me now. So fuck it, I write a song about pain. Fuck it out, make a pain song. They want my soul on these beats, but I'm dealing with real trauma, dog. I try to keep buried beneath, but fuck it out, make a pain song. Just please don't step on my heart. But when I finish writing this pain song, I'll be healed from these scars.
Yeah, just appreciating life, you know. I've been listening to birds cry, I've been viewing from a bird's eye. That's why I always keep my third eye open. I'm focused. If it's real, you know it's gon' come back. It's that season, but there's no comeback. If you let go, then please don't run back. Cause if it ain't love, then we don't want that. Yeah, that I got bigger fish at the fry. Like, who gon' take care of my family when I die? So they can't say I failed with knowing they never tried. Let's put our ego to side and tuck an eye in the pride. We force our past to collide, now we traveling worldwide. Some people think I'm fake, cause I ain't never reply. But that well is run dry, the people I used to confide in. Thought they was riding, but it was feelings they was hiding. You tried it, now I'm thinking wow, cause I thought that you was solid. Could've been making money, but you steady making problems. Could've been here with us, yeah, but now you in them comments. You was wildin'. If it's real, you know it's gon' come back. It's that season, but there's no comeback. If you let go, then please don't run back. Cause if it ain't love, then we don't want that. Yeah. We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. Cause if it ain't love, then we don't want that. All the sacrifices that my parents made for me, I return it all, you could get the world from me. Stay the same, make it big, can you still love me? Will you still want me? Cause just like you, I've been trying to mediate, see the value in things before it all depreciate. I found myself protecting my mindset so I don't deviate. Then it start to pull me back, right in an egregious state. With these words I lead the way to lyrical heaven. Just me and my brethrens carrying this on our backs like Tim in 07. I'm calm like a setting, till it set in that you could lose it all in the blink of a second. Flash of a minute, involved in an accident. The car started smoking while I was in it. Jumped out, felt the Holy Spirit. God whispers, you got something to live for, and it ain't nothing stopping you. Cause lately it been too much fam in and out the hospital. Keep my head in the beats and show them that it's possible to live out your own dreams and go against the logical. I was down till a voice said I believe in you. My mama used to say, yeah daddy, I could see in you. You a man now on your own and I ain't seeing you. Just know I'm stacking up this dough so I could be with you. Stay isolated bro, the saga still continues. Forever. Indies.
Yeah, talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like.
Hey, I had to hit that right quick because listen, man. Y'all know when it comes to these debates, you got ups and downs, ebbs and flows, trials and tribulations, and all that good stuff. But this one right here was a bit of a doozy. So I get a call early this morning, 7 a.m. to be exact. Not a call, but a text from one Heru Conscious, the reigning defending social media champion. And he says he is canceling tonight's debate. Now, I don't want y'all to let me get into a bunch of hyperbole. I got MVP Chris Harris here, the president of Worldview Wars Debate League. I have my man Big Himmy here, and we just gonna take y'all through it. Himmy will be doing his presentation tonight, but we want to let y'all know on the outset, because Heru on the day of reneged on his agreement to defend his title, Himmy is officially the new Worldview Wars Debate League social media champion. Heru took his ball and went home to find peace. MVP, talk to the people, man.
Took his ball and ran. All right. So let's get right down to it. Said took his ball, get a little nigga his ball back. All right, so earlier this morning, man. Well, let's start at Wednesday. Wednesday, I received a phone call about with him and JJ on the line. And it was just a lot of yelling, and I'm just all like, mute. And they just yelling and yelling. They trying to set up a debate. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on? You're in Worldview Wars? That's the first thing I was trying to figure out with JJ. And he just, you know how he get. Let's not even deal with all of that. So me and Bianchi, we all got on the phone and we said, hey, listen, Heru, we want you to take your time and focus on the Himmy debate, the Himmy, the biblical scholar debate, right? So then we all agreed and said, okay, let's move on. Deal with that another time. Right now, your focus need to be on Himmy, the biblical scholar. we move past all of that, and I wake up Sunday morning. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. I wake up Sunday morning, and that was today. I'm sorry, and I said, "Wait a minute!" It said on Worldview Wars, Heru Consciousness versus JJ 7000. I'm all like, "Wait a minute! Whoa, 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 whoa! He's not gonna abide by the rules." So I called Heru. I said, "Heru, I thought you were supposed to be focusing on Himmy, and let's move forward on this." And then he says, "You don't understand the position I'm in." I said, "Dude, he's not going to follow the format. If he's not following the format, he cannot debate on Worldview Wars. It's simple." So I guess he didn't like the way I was talking to him, but he said, "Chris, you don't understand the position that I'm in." He's running around telling people I'm scared of him. I told him, join the fucking club. He going to say that about everybody that he tries to debate, right? He do this all the time, everywhere he go. So I said, "Man, listen, dog, he can't debate on Worldview Wars. If he wants to debate on Worldview Wars, the format is the format. There are no exceptions to the rule. He must present a premise. He must present 3 sources and about the topic that he's going to be debating against, right?" He said, "Well, you know what, man? That's between you and Pianki." Of course, I got to call Pianki on this, right? Who ain't ducking nothing here. So I'm calling him first because he's the first number I'm going to call. Pianki is an hour behind. I can't necessarily call Pianki at 7 o'clock my time, but me and Heru, sometimes we talk at 7 o'clock my time, just about debates, conscious community bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just like me and Pianki talk around that time too. So I get on the phone with Pianki. I call Pianki, and Pianki said, "Man, you know it's..."
Time out. So the first thing I said to Chris, I say, "Hey man, you know it's like 6:30 where I'm at." 6:30 a.m. just to let y'all know how early in the day it was.
Yeah.
"Hey, you know it's like 6:30 where I'm at." He like, "Yeah, I know, but I'm tight." And I'm like, "What you tight about?" He was like, "You." But go ahead. Like he ain't gonna spin the narrative like he ain't called to get at me, just like he called to get at
No. I called to get at Pianki because business is business, right? I got to get at Pianki. And I said, "Yo, I thought I said he cannot debate on Worldview Wars unless he gives a 2-paragraph premise and at least 3 sources." First thing I said. Pianki said, "No, it's going to be on Paradigm Shift. I'm just dual streaming it to Worldview Wars." I said, "Pianki, if we do it for him, we got to do it for everybody." First thing I said. So he goes, No, it's not like that. Pianki said it was not like that. He just want to sit up there and get the channel to pick up some algorithm. What a lot of barking back and forth me and Pianki was doing. Hey, listen, I said, "All right, but remember when this go down and it blow up in our face, I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna say what?"
"You told me so."
I told
his exact words, "Remember, I'm light skinned. I'm gonna call you and tell you I told you so."
That I didn't say that.
Hey, y'all know Chris a house nigga. So he a house nigga with nappy hair, as a matter of fact. So he told me he was gonna call me and tell me he told me so.
Okay. So with that being said, I said, "I'm gonna tell you so," and he gonna blow it. So Pianki said, "Don't worry about it." And I said, "All right, then cool, we agreed." Then Pianki gets a text message from Heru Consciousness. And it said that you can read it to him, everybody.
Let me read it verbatim. Read it verbatim because I don't want it to be no hyperbole. I didn't say this, I ain't say that. So I get a text, 6:59 a.m. "Good morning, bro. Sorry to hit you up with this so early, but Chris called me at 7:30 this morning, mad about me debating JJ. I'm sick of Chris talking to me crazy and trying to dictate my moves, so I told him cancel tonight's debate and I'm officially done. He insists on talking to me like I'm some child. I hate it has to be this way because I really did like the platform, but at this point, I have to maintain my peace and my sanity. Too much is too much. I will always support your channel and I will still help in any way that I can. I'm done debating. Peace." Now, I want y'all to understand something. I have not only defended y'all. Everybody that's watching this, that's familiar with the channel. If you ain't new to the channel, you know I have defended Heru to the utmost. Even when he let me down at my biggest event, I defended him. I vouched for him to come back. And for you to do this on the day of, all that you support the channel and you just spit in my face, my G. So we good. You officially done, that's fine. You could have came up and gave Himmy the respect of debating him like you agreed to, and then said, I'm not doing this no more. Never mind, you letting the conversation between you and Chris dictate how you gonna move with me and Himmy, who you've been trying to get a debate with for a whole year, me, who done defended you against everybody, because you didn't like, I feel like Franklin Saint, because you ain't like how a motherfucker talk. This shit crazy.
So let's get back. I'd be damned if you fuck it up just because the way another motherfucker talk. Anyway, I always want to find a way to say that. So my favorite part in that, he was like, nigga, I'm the reason why you motherfuckers got this money in the first place. But anyway, so what ended up happening was me and him didn't even have a falling out. I didn't see it as one. I didn't really see it as a falling out. I know I can speak to people quite sharp, but it is what it is, right? And I know I'm arrogant as shit. So Bianchi checking me on the other end. He like, Chris, you can't be a debater no more. You can't be Isaiah Thomas thinking everybody gonna play the same way you play. You know, he's making some analogies here. And I'm like, all right, I got you. So that's when the text came through. But he told me he was going to do the debate tonight, and he was going to stop debating after that for his peace and sanity. So I'm just all like, wow, when I heard the text message, and I'm all like, what does me and your conversation have to do with Himmy? It has nothing to do with Himmy. You understand what I'm saying? You're in the pseudo killers back chat, and you're not being disrespected back there. You're like, I don't disrespect you when I call you, and I even apologize to him for that. So just after doing some research, Himmy was, a lot of people saying, yo, the dude been drunk on here before, debating before. I didn't even know that was him. The dude done canceled out of debates before, and every time it's some shit with this guy. Come on like this. Look, man, we moving on. We're going to allow Himmy to do his presentation tonight because it's fair. He prepared for it. And I also think that he had an excellent premise. I actually enjoyed reading both of the gentlemen's premise. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's get this on. I want to say shout out to everybody tuning in right now, man. Welcome to the platform. This is Worldview Wars. You guys that are on my channel tuning in, on Paradigm Shift tuning in, and on Worldview Wars tuning in, do us a favor. Get over there and like, because I'm going to be bringing a lot of guys, and Bianchi, we're reaching out looking for new talent to come over there to the channel, to come over there to Worldview Wars and debate properly. That's what we're looking forward to engaging. It's a totally different format. It's a format that everybody's going to enjoy. So with that being said, man, I said what I said. I'm sorry you felt that way, man.
Yeah, and the other odd thing is, like he said, he told Chris he was canceling tonight's debate. He never, apparently, according to Chris, he never even said that to him.
Personally, I would have led with that. I would have led with that on the phone call.
Bruh, I'm completely disappointed in this brother, and I called him like 4 times, texted him like 3 times, nothing. So, and it's odd because again, you preparing to defend your title against Himmy, but you're trying to antagonize Steve. You're trying to set up a debate with JJ, which I set up. But you're not focused on Himmy. So this is my belief. He never fully prepared for Himmy, and he knew he was in trouble.
I think so too. I think so too, personally. And he was looking for a way out. I call it Cobra Commander scholarship. When you're looking for a way out, you know what I'm saying? Because whatever me and him got going on don't have nothing to do, one, with Worldview Wars, 2, that's between 2 gentlemen behind the scenes. It has nothing to do with you and Himmy. You understand what I'm saying? So it just shows a level of I'm gonna say this nicely, softness that I didn't expect from a brother from Detroit, such as myself. You know what I'm saying? Especially him being from Detroit. That's a little soft.
And we gonna turn it over to the man of the hour, the new social media champion, who seems to have a penchant for making so-called top-level debaters retire when they supposed to debate him. But I want to do this. Chris just mentioned we looking for debaters. Standard debates, each participant gets paid $50. If you a defending champion, you get $100. Y'all know how we do over here. I am bringing that back. A brother, got a few supporters on the financial tip, and we ready to start making those payouts again. But y'all check this out. Contact Chris, contact myself. If you associated or Big Himmy, holler at him, or any other debaters that's associated with us, reach out and we'll get y'all in. But let me play this right quick. All right, Big Himmy, it's on you, bro.
Yeah, this a whole lot. Man, hey, man, I just want to say this, bro. Before I get into my presentation, I want to debate, bro. I don't want to. If I can do this anytime, get up here and present information about the Bible, information about God, information about Christianity. Anytime I can get up here and do a presentation, man. But I want to debate, man. We are in a debate league. You feel what I'm saying? So please, you guys, this is for people in the future. I already had 2 people do this. I had A9. He's so-called retired.
Shots fired.
Now, Heru, this is Heru's second time quitting when he's supposed to go against me. And that's crazy, bro, because, I just want the debate. I lose just like everybody else. Everybody see me lose 2 debates in one weekend. I got beat by Pan. I got beat by Joshua. I got beat by KOT. You know what I'm saying? And I got beat by everybody's watching me get beat by Chris on this platform. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with
it. Destroyed. It wasn't beat, it was destroyed.
You could destroy that lie. But my point is, bro, if y'all gonna set up these debates, bro, come with it, bro. And stop y'all talk a whole lot, bro. And I'll be ready. Because I'm defending my faith. You know what I'm saying? My faith is tied into that. And also the people be ready to see what we got going on, man. Y'all over here popping all this stuff. Let's get it popping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm tired of it, bro. Heru, I'm extremely disappointed because you was talking about we was cool and you ain't got no problem and you respect me, but I ain't heard nothing from you. I heard from DMG that we wasn't gonna debate. DMG hit me first, then Chris hit me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't heard nothing from you, bro. And you were saying we gonna lock it in. This debate been over a year. The same topic. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really rock with that. He said Himmy really I'm humble, yeah. But I get up here and I say I want to smoke every time. DMG know every time I'm humble as heck. But I still be saying, y'all think it's a game? Get in this ring, stand in front of me, let's see how it's gonna go down. Win, lose, or draw. You feel me? So come on, man. We gotta do better. But I'm getting to my presentation. Can you make it full screen for me, please, DMG? All right. So the debate tonight the title was, is there evidence for the existence of the biblical God? Right. So this is a structured affirmative case drawing on cosmology, morality, consciousness, and human religious experience, demonstrating that evidence exists and converges and carries genuine probative value. Okay. So defining the resolution tonight is precise. Is there evidence for the existence of the biblical God? This is not a demand for absolute proof. It is not a request to eliminate every competing worldview. It asks one focused question: does evidence exist? Y'all know I care about definitions in all of my debates. So what the resolution asks is whether evidence exists that has probative value toward the existence of the biblical God. Evidence that justifies belief, increases probability, or helps determine the best explanation for reality. What the resolution does not ask is prove God under repeatable laboratory conditions, eliminate every possible alternative worldview, achieve mathematical certainty, or demonstrate exclusive explanatory power. That is not what the debate would have been about tonight. All right. So, what is evidence? The academic definition, right? According to the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy, and Britannica, evidence is defined rigorously, not emotionally or rhetorically. Okay. So, number one, they define them like this: it justifies belief. Evidence is that which gives rational grounds for holding a proposition to be true. Okay. Number two, it increases probability. Evidence raises the likelihood that a given explanation accurately accounts for observed reality. Number three, explanatory power. Evidence helps determine which explanation best accounts for the full range of observed phenomena. Okay, not lab exclusive. Empirical evidence includes both qualitative and quantitative forms of observation and experience, not only controlled experiments. Evidence is not the same thing as absolute proof. Fingerprints at a crime scene are still evidence before the entire case is solved. Smoke is still evidence of fire before the exact room is identified. Okay. Tonight's debate is about the keyword evidence. All right. So the biblical God defined, right? For clarity and precision, the affirmative position defines the biblical God as the transcendent, intentional, morally authoritative creator described in the Jewish and Christian scriptures. Transcendent creator, a God who exists beyond and prior to the physical universe, the source of space, time, and matter. Intentional and rational, a God who acts with purpose, grounds rationality, and orders creation intelligibly. Okay? Morally authoritative, a God whose nature grounds objective moral obligation, not merely social convention or survival instinct. Self-revealing, this is the key point right here. A God who has not hidden himself completely, but reveals himself through creation, morality, rationality, history, and revelation. Okay? All right. So the biblical worldview predicts evidence. This is a crucial distinction. The biblical worldview itself predicts that evidence for God should exist and be discoverable, making the affirmative case internally coherent from the outset. So we have Acts 17. God made humanity so that they would seek him, and find him, though he is not far from every one of us. Okay? Romans 1. The invisible attributes of God are clearly seen through creation itself. Knowledge of God is manifest within humanity. All right. Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God. Creation itself functions as a medium of divine disclosure. The burden tonight is not to eliminate every possible worldview. The burden is to demonstrate that evidence exists which has probative value toward the existence of the biblical God. Okay. So the case structure. The affirmative case follows a clear, repeatable, logical structure across every domain of evidence presented tonight. So we're going to go with the evidence itself, right? The inferred conclusion and the probative to the biblical God. And that's how you'll see that I'll be presenting evidence for the existence of the biblical God, not just a God. All right.
Hey, Himmy, real quick.
Yes,
Just so you can hear me, just so I can be clear with the audience here. Can you go back one slide, please?
Yes, sir.
Just one slide. Okay, is this the case structure? Is this a syllogistic argument right here?
You say what?
A syllogistic argument.
That doesn't say.
In which you're showing that logically, if this all logically follows, therefore God exists.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. I just want to hit the audience.
Did I have that in my slide? No.
Well,
Okay.
next time when you see that case structure there, just to let you know, put down here's your syllogistic argument for it. If the logic follows, therefore, A, B, and C. You know what I'm saying? Instead of putting case structure, just make your syllogistic argument. That would help you prove your case. But okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So, hold on. Argument 1. This is my argument 1. So this is the structure that I was talking about. This is the syllogistic structure. Chris smarter than me. He got all them big words. So argument 1, cosmology. The existence
Man, you see how this Negro just interrupted you for that, man?
Right.
Man, you should have said, man, shut up and let me finish my presentation.
I need my trash taken out. Massa? Yeah, he in the house.
So because he brought up syllogism, that's what I'm going to use. This is the syllogism right here, Chris. So argument 1, cosmology. The existence and order of the universe, right? So X, right, is the evidence again. That's how I broke it down to y'all. The universe exists, had a beginning, and operates according to intelligible laws and order. Even many secular cosmological models acknowledge that space, time, and matter are not eternal in their present form. Okay, so why? What it points toward? A beginning points toward causation. Order and intelligibility point toward rationality and intentionality rather than blind chaos alone. Something cannot create itself. It would have to exist before it exists. All right. So what does that point toward? Z, the biblical probability value. The biblical worldview directly predicts this reality. Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God. Romans 1. God's invisible attributes are clearly seen through creation. The biblical God is not hidden, is not a hidden abstraction. He is a creator whose existence leaves discoverable indicators within creation itself. Okay. Argument 2, morality, the reality of objective moral obligation. The evidence again, human beings consistently appeal to objective moral obligations. People do not merely say, I dislike rape, murder, or slavery. They say those things are actually wrong, even when cultures approve of them. Okay, so what does that point toward? Objective moral obligation points beyond personal preference or social convention. If morality is ultimately only chemistry, survival instinct, or societal agreement, then no action is truly objectively evil, only socially inconvenient. And we all know that's not the case, right? The biblical worldview directly predicts moral reality by grounding morality in the nature of a morally authoritative God. So Romans 2, the law is written in the hearts of humanity, right? Micah 6, God has shown humanity what is good. So the existence of objective moral awareness is consistent with the biblical understanding of human beings created in God's image. Moral awareness is expected, not accidental. All right. So I went through 2. Here's my third argument. Consciousness and rationality, the hard problem of mind. So the evidence, human beings possess self-awareness, intentional thought, rational reflection, meaning, logic, and abstract reasoning. Consciousness is one of the hardest problems for strict materialism. Matter alone does not easily explain subjective awareness. Okay, so why? What does that point toward? Mind points more naturally toward prior mind than toward unintelligent matter alone. Rationality itself presupposes intelligibility within reality, a feature that demands explanation. Okay, so the biblical worldview predicts this directly. Genesis again says humanity is made in the image of God, a rational, conscious creator. John 1, reality itself is grounded in logos, divine rationality, and order. Under the biblical worldview, consciousness and rationality are not accidents. They are expected features of beings created by a rational creator, not surprising byproducts of blind material processes. Okay. Argument number 4, human religious awareness, universal transcendence seeking behavior. So, across the evidence across history and cultures, humanity consistently exhibits religious awareness, transcendence seeking behavior, worship, moral intuition, and the belief that reality contains meaning beyond material existence. We all know this to be true, right? This points towards humanity possessing awareness of transcendence rather than existing as purely accidental biological machines concerned only with survival and reproduction. Okay, why does that matter? The biblical worldview directly addresses this universal phenomenon. So Acts 17 says, God created humanity so that they would seek him, though he is not far away from any of us. Romans 1 says, knowledge of God is manifest within humanity. The biblical worldview predicts that humans would possess awareness of transcendence because humanity was created in relation to God. This is not a coincidence to be explained away. It is an expected feature of the biblical account. All right. So the power of convergence, this is how I tie it all together, right? So no single category by itself mathematically proves Christianity. That is not the burden under this resolution. The burden is to demonstrate that evidence itself exists, and what we see is powerful convergence across independent domains, right? So we touched on morality and objective obligation. We touched on cosmology, beginning order, consciousness, mind and rationality, and religious awareness, universal seeking. And this is all these point to God in the biblical worldview, right? So the biblical worldview uniquely predicts that these indicators should exist because the biblical God reveals himself through creation, morality, rationality, and history rather than remaining completely hidden. Okay? So, how evidence actually works, and this is extremely important. My opponent's argument ultimately collapses into one claim: alternative explanations exist, but alternative explanations do not erase evidence itself. This is not how evidence functions in any serious discipline. So, here's an analogy I have for you guys. There's a crime scene. So, fingerprints at a crime scene are still evidence even before investigators identify the suspect. Multiple possible suspects do not make the fingerprints disappear. Listen to me again. Fingerprints is the evidence, right? Multiple possible suspects do not make the fingerprints disappear. So what do you mean, Himmy? So the biblical God would be one of the suspects to explain the morality, the rationality, and all the things, the different evidences that I spoke on before. So that is evidence. So when we talk about do evidence exist? Yes, that evidence exists. All right. So smoke and fire. Smoke is still evidence of fire even before firefighters locate the exact room burning. The source being unknown does not eliminate the evidentiary value of the smoke. Okay. DNA evidence. DNA is still evidence before the trial is complete. Evidence can be cumulative, convergent, inferential, and progressively explanatory. Okay? The legal standard. Courts operate on the best available explanation of the totality of evidence, not on the elimination of every conceivable alternative before any evidence is acknowledged. Why does that matter? So, from Heru's position is because there's Buddhism, there's Islam, there's all these other different beliefs in a different higher power that's not the biblical God, then no evidence for the biblical God can exist because there are alternative explanations. So what I'm explaining to y'all here is that is not how evidence works. Many people can see one thing or can examine several different forms of evidence and come up with different conclusions. That doesn't erase what the evidence is. Okay, we're dealing with, is there evidence? All right, I hope I'm making myself clear. All right, so the competing suspects framework. Think about how evidence works in real investigations. Investigators can process fingerprints, DNA, eyewitness testimony, motive, and surveillance footage and still conduct a lineup because multiple suspects remain possible. So they gather the evidence, they line up the competing suspects, and then they have the best explanation. So different worldviews are functioning as competing suspects, you guys, attempting to explain the same evidence. All right. Again, different worldviews are functioning as competing suspects attempting to explain the same evidence. My opponent argues as though the existence of multiple possible explanations means there is no evidence at all. That is not how evidence works. Academically, philosophically, scientifically, or legally, the existence of alternative suspects does not make the evidence disappear. It simply means investigators must continue determining which explanation best fits the totality of said evidence. Okay? All right. So this would have been my rebuttal. That would have been my argumentation round. This would have been my rebuttal. The burden shift fallacy, right? So I saw my opponent's premise. So this is what this is based off of, right? So after listening carefully to the opposition, notice what happened throughout this debate. The discussion quietly shifted from whether evidence exists to whether the evidence is specific enough, strong enough, or exclusive enough. Those are completely different claims, okay? So the actual resolution says, is there evidence for the existence of the biblical God? Evidence existing is not the same thing as evidence being exhaustive, all right? Universally decisive or eliminating every competing worldview. The opposition's reframing, which would have been Heru. The opposition repeatedly moved the burden from, is there evidence, to, can you eliminate every possible alternative explanation? This is a fundamentally different and far more demanding standard that applies to no other domain of inquiry, okay? Artificially narrowing the resolution to scientifically prove God under repeatable laboratory conditions is not how evidence is academically defined, and it was never the question on the table. All right. So the generic theism concession. This is what again, like I told y'all, I saw his premise prior to, so I was going to beat him up with all of this. The opposition argued that the evidence could fit generic theism. This is key. This is why I'm saying that it's a concession. Watch this. The opposition argued that the evidence could fit generic theism, deism, Islam, or other worldviews, but notice what this argument quietly concedes. The concession: if the evidence can point toward transcendence, intelligence, moral grounding, rationality, or revelation, then the opposition has already conceded that the evidence has explanatory relevance toward theism in the first place. Okay, so even when we're not talking about the biblical God, he's saying that, okay, there's evidence that supports theism itself. Okay, why does that matter, Himmy? Okay, the implication: the discussion is no longer about whether evidence exists now, because he just admitted that evidence exists. The discussion becomes about comparative explanatory power and interpretation, which is a completely different debate from this resolution that we're having tonight. Okay, the conclusion: evidence that point towards transcendence and theism is still evidence. The fact that multiple theistic frameworks might share some explanatory territory does not eliminate the evidentiary value. It confirms it. Okay, it confirms it. All right, so scripture and historical development. The opposition attempted to dismiss scripture by arguing that the Bible emerged through human history, redaction, political influence, and canonization. This argument, even if granted, does not reach the resolution. What the argument challenges: specific interpretations of biblical texts, the transmission and canonization process, the reliability of particular historical claims, the authority of specific doctrinal formulations. What the argument does not challenge: the existence of the biblical God, the cosmological evidence for a creator, the moral argument for objective grounding, the consciousness argument for prior mind, the universal human awareness of transcendence. Again, remember, y'all, in my argumentation round, these are all the things that I brought up. Okay, so historical development of a text does not logically disprove the existence of the God that the text describes. At most, it challenges interpretation or transmission, which are separate questions from the resolution itself. Okay. So, rebuttal again. Naturalism's own assumptions, right? The opposition argued that naturalistic explanations account for phenomena once attributed to God, but replacing one explanation for a certain phenomena does not eliminate the broader philosophical questions surrounding existence, causation, morality, consciousness, rationality, and transcendence itself, right? So the uniformity of nature. Naturalism assumes that nature operates uniformly and that inductive reasoning is reliable. These are philosophical foundations, not laboratory discoveries. They cannot be empirically verified under the restrictive standards the opposition attempted to impose upon theism. All right? The reliability of reason. Naturalism assumes that human rational faculties reliably track truth. But if consciousness is merely an accidental byproduct of blind material processes, there is no guarantee that our reasoning is truth tracking rather than merely survival serving. Okay? The ground of logic. Assumptions about reason, causality, logic, and the intelligibility of nature are themselves philosophical foundations, not empirical results. Naturalism borrows these foundations without grounding them within its own framework. I talked about that in my debate with Pan. All right, so evidence can be cumulative. This is the whole point, right? Throughout this debate, the affirmative never claimed, which is me, that any single argument alone constitutes proof, because proof and evidence are not the same thing, okay? The case rests on the cumulative convergent weight of multiple independent lines of evidence, each pointing in the same direction, right? So there were 4 independent domains: cosmology, morality, consciousness, and religious awareness, each independently pointing toward transcendence. One unified prediction. The biblical worldview uniquely predicts that all 4 domains should yield discoverable indicators of God's existence. 0 successful rebuttals. The opposition did not successfully eliminate the evidential value of any single domain, only disputed interpretation and sufficiency. So, evidence can be cumulative, convergent, inferential, and progressively explanatory. The existence of competing interpretations does not change the fact that evidence itself exists. All right. So my affirmative position stands, right? My opponent may dispute the interpretation of the evidence, right? He may dispute the sufficiency of the evidence. He may prefer alternative explanations for the evidence, but none of that changes the central fact of this debate, that the evidence exists, right? So we have cosmology. The universe had a beginning and operates within intelligible order, pointing towards a transcendent, rational creator. I say that points towards the biblical God, right? Morality, objective moral obligation exists and is universally recognized, pointing towards a morally authoritative ground. I say the biblical God, right? So does the Bible. Consciousness, mind, rationality, and self-awareness exist, pointing more naturally toward prior mind than toward blind matter. The biblical God, right? Religious awareness, universal human transcendence seeking behavior exists, pointing towards humanity created in relation to God, specifically the biblical God. All right. So the answer is yes. Evidence exists. The resolution tonight is not, has the biblical God been absolutely proven beyond all alternatives? That is not what we would have been debating. The resolution is their evidence for the existence of the biblical God. Tonight, multiple independent domains, including cosmology, morality, consciousness, and human religious awareness, have been shown to possess genuine probative value toward the existence of the biblical God. The biblical worldview uniquely predicts that these indicators should exist. The convergence of these independent lines of evidence is not coincidental. It is exactly what the biblical worldview anticipates. Okay? So evidence is not erased by the existence of alternative interpretations. Smoke is still evidence of fire. Fingerprints are still evidence of presence. And the convergent indicators across cosmology, morality, consciousness, and religious awareness are still evidence for the existence of the biblical God. The affirmative position stands. Thank you. Yo,
All right. Big Himmy. And listen, I know it's a lot of people who they kind of show their hand that they don't really understand the way certain arguments work. I seen somebody say, where's the evidence for God? I think it went over your head. But that's cool, because if you're a debater and you object to anything the brother said, holla at MVP Chris Harris, and let's see if you can get in the league. You feel me? I see my man Zion the Lion in the building. I don't know if you saw the beginning, Zion, but Heru took his ball and went home. He don't want to play no more. But Chris Harris, what did you think of the new social media champions presentation?
Well, first of all, we just go ahead and say what it is. He is the champion. That is what it is. He is the champion, and all the championship goes through Himmy, the biblical scholar. Now it's simple. What he was making was a syllogistic argument. Now, the opponent would have to argue logically against what he's presenting, because Himmy is the affirmative here. In this case, he's the one setting the parameters for the debate and the discussion. And what he used, or what he chose to do, was argue syllogistically on why God exists. So it's not for me, or it's not ethical of me to sit up there and say whether he's right or wrong. That is for his peers to do. And that's what his peers must do in an argument like that. So with that being said, it is what it is. Show up or show out. That's what it is. This is the World View Wars debate channel. With that being said, guys, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Giving Himmy, the biblical scholar, a shout out. Shouting out everybody that's tuning in right now, guys. It is what it is. He put together an argument, and I think this would have been an argument that he would have to deal with. And I think it was a good argument, personally. You know, it's not up to me to decide whether he's right or wrong. That is what we have judges for. But I'm going to put the link in the chat to see if anybody wants to come in here and have a conversation with Himmy about what he presented. Just one question, guys, just one question. Try not to ask questions away from what he presented. Ask a question about what he presented.
Question or comment about what he presented, or congratulate him on being the new World View Wars Debate League social media champion. Either or.
So that link is in the channel. Himmy, let me ask you a question.
No room for hate. This is only to congratulate. So
that's right.
Don't come up here with that hating mess.
So Himmy, what would have been the first question you would have asked him in the Q&A round?
my first question that I would have asked him.
Yeah, act like I'm Heru, which is hard to do. You know what I'm saying? What would be the first question you would ask him?
Okay, so I saw in your premise that you defined evidence as empirically testable. So after my presentation and after reading the Britannica, IEP, SEP's definition of what evidence actually is defined as, do you still agree that your definition of evidence is academically sound or mine? That would have been my first question.
Okay, so we got Jose Francis in the building. Jose, come on in, ask your question, knock it out.
What's up now? I just want to tell him congratulations. I don't really have any questions.
Oh, appreciate that, Jose.
All right, bye.
Okay. So with that being said, I hope Jose leaves correctly this time. Last time he left, he shut down the entire channel. You know what I'm saying? So guys, with that being said, this is Big Himmy 713, the biblical scholar. Guys, we got Kemet Infomonger in the building. Let's bring him on in.
Shout out to one of the brothers who will be participating in the world title tournament. Kemet Infomonger himself, a real comedic scientist in the building. Steve, talk to us if you can hear us, bro.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Congratulations, Himmy.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
That your presentation was like I didn't understand it because it's more like philosophical to me, but congratulations. And it was above my head. I ain't understand it because it's a lot of philosophy and stuff like that. But
So
congratulations, man.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When we're having a discussion about the existence of the biblical God, isn't that a philosophical discussion?
I guess, but it's just that like I would approach it from more a scientific perspective. In terms of like in science, we would say that the universe did it begin with order or chaos, and generally the theist or the creationist would say that it began with order as opposed to randomness or chaos. But I understand where you were coming from, and then I'm not Heru, but I feel you, my brother. Congratulations.
Not what the Genesis
Hey,
1
Steve.
started with order.
I didn't say Genesis. I'm not biblical, so.
Well, you said when you said the someone like me would argue that it started with order, but I'm telling you, no, I wouldn't, because the Bible.
No, I didn't say you. Like I'm a creationist, so it would just be the way that I would do it. Debate it would be totally different than how I guess Hemmy was trying to. I mean, not Hemmy. How Heru was trying to do it.
I got you.
But
Hey,
I'm
Steve,
a creationist.
if
I'm a
I can
creationist
interrupt
like
you for
you.
a second.
Yes, I'm
I
sorry.
gotta say this, man. I feel like you to blame for Heru taking his ball and going home, because he ain't been the same since he lost to you. I feel like you started this, bro.
With those slides in the second round. With those slides, I guess that just made it worse for him. Be like, this dude, they had no slides in the second round, and he still won. Like, what's up?
Like after he lost to you, he actually called me complaining about debates he had won. I was like, damn, Steve did him like that. Like he was like, I don't think this person should have even got a vote. And I'm like, man, now you won that one, bro.
I don't know. And then he got all upset because I didn't want to debate him again, and like he wanted to relitigate the same topic. It's like, dude, how about do that? You know what I'm saying? I was trying to move on. You know what I'm saying? But congratulations,
Yeah,
congratulations, Big M.
Shout out, and we will see Steve in that 4-man tournament to determine the new Worldview Wars Debate League undisputed world champion. Or who knows? We may see him and Himmy down the line for the social media title. I don't know.
Yeah, he said he challenged my premise. So
no, MVP was trying to set that up after him and Heru Conscious. You know what I'm saying? So I was on that track, and then also Joshua. Yeah, so I wasn't running. I just didn't want to debate the man with the ball.
Yeah, hey, listen. If I didn't want to consolidate those two titles, I know you'll still be the reigning defending academic champion. I just didn't want to have three in the singles titles, and he kind of benefited from that. But that's why I moved you up to the world title picture. But it's unfortunate, man. I like I said, I think anybody who been rocking with us for a minute will tell you, I took up for the brother more than anybody. And for him to spit in my face like this is crazy.
Well, win, lose, or draw, you know what I'm saying? Show up. We'll just show up. That's it.
Facts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so somebody said he gave no evidence, just word salad, but they haven't hit the link. So, I suggest you hit the link and come up and speak your speech. Go ahead. I'll let y'all get back to it.
No, I got So for anybody who's saying that, so because it seems what evidence is not accepted amongst people who don't believe in the biblical God. So if I didn't give any evidence, what would y'all consider evidence of the biblical God? If you said that I didn't, because I talked about rationality, I talked about cosmology, I talked about morality, I talked about transcendence. Those are evidences, right? So if I didn't present any evidence, what is evidence to you? Whoever that was, I don't know who that was, or anybody who objects anything that I said in my presentation. If y'all can answer that question, what would be evidence?
My question would be: is the evidence within the Bible itself, or is the evidence within the Bible and outside of the Bible? That's my.
I definitely pointed with every form of evidence that I presented, I took you to a scripture that predicted that would be considered evidence.
Right, because biblical God was in the title, so
Right.
it was in the title.
Right.
Can't dispute that.
So that's why I'm asking what is, but the question about whether evidence exists seems to me gets mixed in with people's feelings on what evidence is. Like if that's why I use the analogy about fingerprints. I can say that's not my fingerprint. That fingerprint doesn't belong to me, but I can't say that isn't evidence of somebody's hand. You see what I'm saying? Like that's evidence, but does it belong to me? Does it belong to Steve? Does it belong to DMG? Does it belong to Chris? You see what I'm saying? I think that's what keeps getting mixed up. Saying something isn't evidence just because you don't want to apply it to the biblical God is misleading.
Right. And the title said biblical God, so
right.
That's what you were supposed to do. But I'm not the one debating, but
yeah, I got that one. The Suave guy, he said he gave no evidence. Just
Suave Boss.
Oh, that's Suave Boss.
Was it? I don't know.
If that is Suave Boss, then yeah.
Suave Boss.
Tell him come on. He gave no evidence. Just what is now? You have to show me what evidence is. I defined evidence and everything. What you think, Chris?
Hey, link is in the chat for anybody who wants to dispute what the brother said, and it's the social media title, so he can put that up whenever.
Well, honestly, if you're are you asking for an honest assessment of your argument?
Not just but you can do that too. But I was asking about what is considered evidence.
What is considered evidence? Well, anything that is tangible will be considered evidence. Philosophy cannot be seen as tangible because philosophy is very abstract. So I think you were making a logical argument. But that's why I asked you, was it syllogistic? A syllogistic argument about why God, why there's evidence for God. But if I was debating you, I would hold you to something tangible and concrete. You understand what I'm saying? So, but you were the affirmative in this debate, and I would have to follow you, and I would have to demonstrate to the audience why syllogistically your argument does not follow logic, how your argument is not logically following, how it's not logical. And I would have to demonstrate that syllogistically. Also, that would have to be my argument against it. Because if I'm not arguing against your syllogistic argument, that means I'm just straw manning you. So it was a good position to take. It's one of the only positions to take. And if people aren't familiar with this, because I showed a couple of judges the premises, and they all said that if someone's not prepared for this debate, that you would win this debate easily. You know what I'm saying? So you were just showing, like I said, you were making a logical argument for it. It was a Christian apologetic. It was a Christian apologetic. And if he's not, if your opponent is not familiar with apologetics, you can dance all over him on that. I debate Christian apologetics all day and literally be stepping on them all day on my TikTok channel. So
Man,
I'll be
you always got to
I'll be breaking their hearts, like, because I understand how to debate against apologetics. Because an apologetic is not held to the knowledge of the biblical text. An apologetic, like he said, he makes an apologist. Becomes an apologist for Christianity. So yeah, I followed your argument. Ethically, I'm not going to say whether or not it was logical or not, because I'm not here to do that. I'm here to just celebrate your win today. Old boy Heru Consciousness, he took his basketball and he ran with it. It's just simple. So congratulations to that, guys. The championship goes through Himmy, the biblical scholar. If you guys got a problem with it, reach out to me at chrisharris313@gmail.com. Get in touch with me. We're going to get you guys involved in the chat. If anybody wants to participate in this Worldview Wars debate league here, guys, it's very unique. We don't have 4 30-minute rounds. We don't do all that. It's one 10-minute premise. It's one 10-minute rebuttal, and then there's a 20-minute Q&A, 15 to 20-minute Q&A, where you guys can literally just beat each other up, because that's what we're here to see. We're here to see the engagement. We're here to see a debate. We're not here to see readership and parroting somebody else's work. That's not a debate. That's just reading. So with that being said, Himmy, you want to say anything in closing?
In closing, yeah, bro. If anybody, I'm glad. I like when I'm able to do this, because this same thing happened after my non-debate with Anon when he retired. everybody had something to say. Oh, I would have. It's easy because, like you said, I'm just reading off my presentation now. But when I have to get you in the Q&A and I have to break down and explain my logic, tell you why your logic fails and all that, then it's a completely different thing. So just sit here and listen to me. It sounds easy. Sounds easy to defend until you got to get asked questions yourself. You see what I'm saying? So to anybody who's seen this presentation and want to rebut it, if you think you can, same title, different title, anything about the my biblical stance, my stance on Christianity, we can debate it. I am here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ducking no smoke. I know I took a little time. I was messing around with my music and stuff on TikTok, but yeah, man, I'm never left. I was just looking for opponents. You know what I'm saying? And Chris, when me and Chris did our thing, we did our thing, and then that was it. Ain't no more opponents out there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody do this, but don't nobody want to actually get up here and present and construct.
Hey man, tell him you taking all the smoke. Flat out, Himmy. Just tell him you want all the damn smoke. Tell him you turning the stove on, goddammit. Tell him you turning the damn. Nobody want to hear you got a bald head. Stop talking. Tell him you goddamn smoke.
And yo, her nephew. Hey, listen. Hey, me and Himmy got our camera on. You turned yours off. You the only light-skinned nigga don't like to be seen.
I'm gonna tell you again. Don't nobody want to see your ugly ass. You got a bald head. You got Zion Warren in the building. Let's go ahead and see what he's got.
What's good, Zion? You on mute, bro. You on mute.
Oh my God, for real. Yo, Hemmy, I love that argument, bro. I just popped in just now and I was like, see, that's because the title says, is there any evidence? Now, of course, that could be very subjective, but it was a really good angle because I'm like, everybody. So sometimes people get into these discussions, just like Chris just said, you know, saying shout out MVP, you know what I'm saying, DMG, everybody in the audience. That was a really good argument. That was great lawyering, you know what I'm saying, from the angle, because what most of the time people do when they say, oh, well, you got to prove that there's evidence for God. They're looking for empirical evidence, right? Mm-hmm. And they want you to actually prove God exists, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not, is there evidence, right? And mm-hmm. to whom, right? So I think that was a really good argument. I do agree with Chris. Chris, you know what I'm saying? He's, you know, that's an apologetic argument, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that there's very many different angles that one could come. But I guess I got to go back and watch the whole thing, because why would Heru walk off the stage, yo, bro? Let me just say this. Big shout out to Heru Conscious. I'm disappointed, my dude. I'm disappointed with you, bro. God damn, man.
This ain't his first time, bro. This ain't his first time, bro. And this like
listen,
I'm time doing it to me.
Yeah, I ain't listen, you can be going all upside my head. I'm not getting off the stage.
No, he didn't even come to the stage.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, he didn't even come to the stage at all?
Nah, he ain't show up.
Wait, so what transpired before? You know what? We can talk properly.
He called in sick. So you know how like you've been at home, you work a job before. You know how you've been. Ain't nothing really wrong with you, but you just don't feel like going into work today. So you got to be to work at 8 o'clock, and you call
that nigga called in sick
at 7:30. you call your supervisor.
That nigga said,
"Hey man, I've been covered up," and you like that. Your supervisor probably like, "Bro, you ain't know you was sick 4-5 hours ago. You just got sick right now."
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to give like a heads up, right? You know what I'm saying? You're in the workplace, you're supposed to let somebody know at least. Freaking, some folks don't tell you can't call in to cancel an appointment. You know what I'm saying? More than freaking daggone 2 or 3 hours ahead of time. 24, right, babe? Oh my God, bro. Anyway, you know what? Congratulations. I hate to win that way, but you know what I'm saying? But that's running, you know what I'm saying, in a sense. Big shout out to Shaka Amos, who ran from me after freaking daggone saying that he'll do it for 100. So I never said he was going to pay 200. The nigga said, "Oh, man, get out of here, boy." And Shaka's brilliant, like, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to talk about Haile Selassie, you might want to freaking daggone.
I got something to say about that too, Zion, bro. So you over here as a representative of HOK, right?
No, I'm just, I'm
talking about for that. I'm talking about for that thing.
Yeah, but this is friendly freaking camaraderie. I don't have to freaking daggone.
Now we gotta smack you up, bro.
Come get this work. Come get this work. Don't threaten me with a good time.
We gotta smack you up.
Don't threaten me with a good time, baby.
I know you in a tournament.
Yeah, I love it. You like it, I love it, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Good stuff, y'all. Shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go over here and make my baby girl you know what I'm saying, a sandwich. I'm gonna holler at you.
I appreciate you, bro.
All right. Bless up.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
Hey, look, I'm glad you told him, man. Look, Zion straddling the fence. Zion, you know you my brother. You know you my roster brother, but you straddling the fence, bro. You straddling the fence. But hey, listen, Himmy, I want to say congratulations, bro. I appreciate you staying 10 toes down. I appreciate you not cracking under the pressure. I know Chris can be a little bit overburned, and I'm gonna start calling him MVB, the most valuable bully, because he done bullied Heru, who is me and Heru like the same age. I don't know how he let Chris, a light-skinned cat with nappy hair, bully him, but he done bullied this dude, and now he no longer want to debate. He ain't even say, "I don't want to debate on your platform." He said he done debating because of Chris. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Hey, Chris, usually when that happened to you, Chris, it be because you debated somebody.
Well, come to find out, Himmy got 4 bodies on him over here alone. He got 4 bodies by himself. So, I mean, I told him, when I heard that Anonymous Hebrew kind of like sidestepped him,
Ain't no kinda. Anonymous Hebrew was supposed to debate Himmy at what was it? Night of the Living Arguments?
Yeah.
October premium live event. This said he was retiring, and then next thing you know, he popped up over there on Psychopathia channel.
Debating. Crazy, bro.
Crazy.
I was like, man, that's crazy.
Hey, Himmy is officially the body catcher, because they do not want to smoke with this man.
That's wild.
So This dude, hey, somebody get Steve Calabro, man. I know I'm probably saying, I know I'll be butchering his last name. Somebody get Steve, man. He say Heru is dead. He gonna reincarnate as a Saw. He need to call himself Judas. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Steve is hilarious. So, hey, man, Chris, give him your last word. Somebody else just popped. Steve, hey, Steve popped back in. Hold up. Let's see what Steve talking about.
What's good?
What's up, Steve?
What's good?
What's up, bro?
Nah, like I said, man, why they gonna call him Heru? Heru wouldn't do that. Not the falcon-headed god. Come on, now.
Oh man, Steve coming.
That's a buzzard. He's a buzzard.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
That's a move right there.
Yeah, hey, this is all I got for Heru from now on, man. That's all I got for him, bro. Like, what in the?
Yeah, bro, that's crazy, man. Damn, Heru.
Ain't no falcon-headed god.
This was gonna be a good debate too.
Hey, this. Why the Suave person won't hit the link though? That's what I want to know. Let me put the link in the chat one more time. I'm gonna give this Suave cat one more opportunity to come up here and talk to Himmy. Cause I hate when people be talking a lot in the chat but don't hit the link. Hit the link. Talk to the biblical scholar, man. But listen, MVP, I'm gonna leave it to you and Himmy, man. Himmy, as always, like I said, appreciate you staying 10 toes down. Appreciate you not letting this nappy head house Negro intimidate you the way Heru did. Heru is like a former gangster, scientist, debater, all of that. He got kids. I think he got grandkids, and he let this light-skinned nigga imitate him.
You know what?
That's crazy.
If I want to right now, I would deconstruct Himmy right now, live on this channel right now.
No, you
but me and him are gonna create something.
You're not a debater.
Right.
You're the president of operations. You are not a debater. Look, hey, Himmy, you didn't got his competitive juices flowing. He can't even help himself. He chopping at the bitch. Look at him. Hey. Why he got? I just want to know what is this chin strap stuff, man? Like, you an adult, man. You an adult.
Beard. It don't grow right in here.
That is not a beard, bro. My son, 19, and hit. Hey, get that stuff off your face, bro.
This is what you call a Shemitic beard. I'm a real Israelite.
Oh man.
I'm not a Hamite. I'm a Shemite.
Listen. All I got to say to Himmy is
the champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
And I do want to say this though, and real talk. Y'all know I give Himmy his props, not just from a talent standpoint. But snap!
The ugliest. He got the ugliest nigga on the internet on here now. The ugliest nigga on the internet.
Wait a minute now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, business is about to pick up. Look, I'm going on mute on my own damn platform.
What's good,
man? Did he really go on mute? What's good? Peace to the panel.
Love, it's on you. I'm going on mute.
Hey, peace to the panel. Peace to the panel. Like, I must have tuned in right after this dude cut off or something, because I never saw Heru up here. But goddamn, Himmy, you running them again, huh? Salute, big Himmy. Salute, big Himmy. Only thing I can say is that to a non-believer, It ain't gonna be nothing they gonna consider evidence, but it's a lot of evidence. I agree with you. But to a non-believer, they gonna dismiss all of it and they gonna throw it to the wind and they gonna ignore it. And turn, like when you're in elementary school and they put their finger in their ear and they go, I'm not listening to you, they gonna do that shit.
Yeah,
That's what they gonna do. But yeah, it's evidence about God. Yeah, it's tons of it. I agree.
appreciate you.
When
Hey,
it
y'all
comes
gotta
to
forget.
empirical evidence, I agree. It ain't no empirical evidence. God can show up right in front of you. You're gonna say that's just a man or that's just a hologram. That's AI. Y'all gonna say it's AI right now.
Neo, the thing is though, most of these dudes don't even know what empirical evidence is. They only
Yeah.
know about experimentation. They don't know what empirical evidence is. Because qualitative evidence is empirical, and it's not lab tested. It's based on observation and experience.
Hey,
I'm
y'all
with you
forgive
on
me, man. I'm a mark out for a second because Neo hit the panel. I gotta hit this.
that. Hey, Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine. That's all I'm gonna say.
God mind,
I just bottled it up
Hey, Neo, you already know what I'm drinking, man. Even though I know I'm wrong, man.
already. Hey, I think we all needed that this go around. We needed this to handle what just happened today. Not again. Like I just can't see it happening again. I saw this happen before with this brother, and to say it happened again, like a second time, like oh my god.
The day of, bro. The day of. Like
Man.
it's crazy, man. It's
It
crazy.
might have been a good thing. It might have been worse if he'd have came on. Like just
I think so.
yeah,
He might have showed up intoxicated again.
yeah,
hey
yeah.
man, yeah,
And then we're not judging because we partake, but we partake in moderation.
Or we can handle it.
Yeah, we can handle it. Yeah.
You know, Mika say I want to debate on is God real. Come on up, Mika. Come on up. Salute to Mika.
Oh, now that would you take that debate, or you sticking with your title? If Mika wanted to debate, is God real? Would you take that one, Himmy?
yeah, because bro, I'm big on definitions. What is real? She gonna have to define real, and she gonna have to stand on what she say real is. Period. But hey, somebody asked me a question. They said, "Himmy, can you explain the difference between a claim and evidence?" Yes. So I talked about it. A fingerprint is evidence. A claim is that fingerprint belongs to him. That's what a claim
There
is.
you go.
I hope that answer. That's the simplest way I can explain it, bro.
I understand it. I don't know if she do. Like you find a fingerprint
I mean,
in a particular location is different from finding a fingerprint at this location and saying this is belonging to the guy who pulled the trigger. The fingerprint is evidence. The claim is this fingerprint belongs to the killer, and this was the one you
Fact.
looking for.
All
I
right.
get you.
So now he's saying, is the North Pole evidence that Santa Claus is historical or real, or is that a claim? That is a claim. But it's not evidence of Santa because the convergence of everything that we know about Santa, we all say that Santa is made up, non-existent. You see what I'm saying?
But
So
hold on.
no,
When they wake up the next morning and them presents under that Christmas tree, is that proof, or is that evidence that Santa came through?
that could be evidence that points towards Santa. But what I'm saying is that the conclusion that Santa isn't real is objectively identified by all of humanity because of everything that we know about Santa. That's not the same thing when it comes to the relation to this topic and God.
So I
Really,
mean, I want a clear yes or no. Is that them presents under that tree evidence for Santa existence or not?
it's evident, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you stood on it because I would agree. It's evidence for Santa. Yeah, it is. Does that mean Santa is real? No, it don't. But it's evidence that someone can use towards that argument. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yep. I agree.
All right, hey, MVP, hold it down, man. I'm about to duck off. Neo, salute for jumping on, bro. Good to see you.
I had to. I was up and I saw y'all on. I clicked the link. I thought I was going in for a good show, and apparently I'm in for half a good show. God, dog.
Yeah, man. I don't, bruh. Anyway, Himmy, salute, congratulations. MVP, hold it down, man.
Yo, we're gonna get ready to shut this thing on down. Let's get ready to shut this thing on down. Anything you want to say in closing?
Nah, bro. I appreciate y'all having me on. Appreciate y'all allowing me to just still share my presentation. Again, anybody who disagrees with any points I made in my presentation, that I can hit up Chris and we can set up a debate with a similar title, same title. It doesn't matter to me, and we can have that debate.
With that being said, y'all, this is the World View Wars League. Y'all tune in or tune out. With that being said, peace.
Peace.
I don't got no friends. You know what I mean? I got supporters.